Hey, my name is Bob Girders, and I'm from Facebook, and we're here in Cannes, and I have the pleasure of chatting with Stephanie McMahon, who is the Chief Brand Officer of WWE, which I don't have to give any introduction to. I know everybody knows that. Welcome, Steph.
Thank you, and before we forget, I have a very special message for a very special someone. So, to Matthew, happy 8th grade graduation. Your dad wants to be with you so badly. He's been talking about you. I heard you might be a WWE fan, so I just wanted to say congratulations.
I am now Father of the Year. That is the best thing that you could have done. The kid is now, this is going to be an all over social media for him. So get ready. He's going to be amplifying on his own. Thank you. So you're here. You have a panel later today, and you're doing a keynote tomorrow.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you think you're going to be talking about on the panel, and then with the keynote, what messaging you're going to be driving?
Sure. So the messaging is really pretty much the same, and I do have the opportunity on the panel today to speak alongside Linda Yaccarino, who's the chairman of NBCU Ad Sales, and a pretty spectacular force of nature.
She is awesome.
She is awesome. And Shelley Zallis, the CEO of Girls Lounge, is going to be, moderating. And what we're really talking about is engagement, and how to engage consumers and your fan base across multiple platforms. And that's exactly what we're going to be speaking about tomorrow as well. My husband, Triple H, Paul Levesque, and I will be speaking on the main stage of the entertainment track, and it's more of a keynote presentation about the art of engagement. So,
and you've got a lot of experience in this.
Yes, I do. Well, I do, and across multiple platforms, because WWE, when you consider all of our lines of business and how we truly do connect with our fan base, you have central to our business are our live events, of which we have over 500 every single year.
I don't think people realize how many events there actually are. There are more events than there are days in the year.
Yes, and now that the circus is no longer traveling, we're now the world's largest traveling show.
Wow.
Yes.
That is
every single week.
The coordination in that must be just, it's like a job for an army.
Basically, we have an army, I think.
God.
Yeah.
So how often does that mean that you're on the road?
So I'm on the road every week, as well, especially when I'm on TV. Right now, my character's been off for a little while, after I went through that table at WrestleMania, which was awesome. I wanted to go through a table like on my bucket list, and I actually got to do it.
Mission
it was so exciting.
Right?
Yep. And then, Seth Rollins gets the credit for it, right? So help do that for Seth, and it was just an awesome opportunity, personally for me to do that.
Yeah.
But so I've been off, and Kurt Angle's been Raw GM, running the show, so to speak. So it's been great. I've been traveling still a lot though, but when I'm on TV, it's every week.
Do you miss the TV part?
I always miss TV because I miss the people there.
Yeah.
I miss our crew. I miss everybody who is on the team on the road, from writers, producers to our bus drivers. Just we have such amazing people.
Yeah.
I miss the talent, and I especially miss our fans because that's where our brand comes to life.
Absolutely.
And I think that's something very unique about WWE in terms of engagement because our executives are on the road. We are out there connecting with our audience live.
Yeah.
Right? Day in and day out. And they tell us loudly what they like and what they don't like, and worse, what they don't care about.
Yeah. You have I think you have such a unique situation with WWE because you watch as a kid and you watch with your dad or you watch with your mom. And then
or your grandparents.
Yep. And it just, what ends up happening is it's a behavior that just carries over. So you grow up, and the first thing you do as a parent, then you just start that behavior. You have this nice cycle of you have a built-in audience that just keeps growing itself.
And may that continue. But it really is. It's multi-generational.
Yep.
And I can't tell you how many times I've heard that story about I watched as a kid and now I'm watching with my kids. And I think because it's a brand that really resonates and connects with people of all ages, because it's just good storytelling.
It's great storytelling.
It's protagonist versus antagonist with conflict resolution, but our conflict resolution happens in the ring.
Yeah.
It's no different than a great movie or a great book or a great play, but you have these larger-than-life personalities who, by the way, you can then go see live.
Yeah.
Right? Your hero comes to life in a way that can't happen with a great movie.
Well, there's
you
just
know?
so many ways to interact with the brand,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Just like
Yeah,
you're saying, I mean,
yes.
because you're watching it on television, you guys do such a great job of being wherever the consumer is, right, from a screen perspective. And then you've got 500 events a year.
Right.
I mean, that's amazing. Like, there's always some type of touch point happening. How do you think about that in terms of trying to bring that all together? Like, how do you wrap a strategy around that?
So we actually have a whole, content ecosystem
Yep.
that we leverage and utilize, and we have a tiered content strategy so that we have unique, customized content that's created for each platform. So whether that's our long-form linear content that's licensed, all over the world to 180 countries and 20 different languages, Monday Night Raw and SmackDown live, 5 hours live every single week in the States on USA Network. And then we have our digital and social, or our AVOD platform, where you have YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all various forms of social media. And then you have our subscription service, which is the WWE Network. And, much like Netflix, et cetera, where you exclusively get our pay-per-view programming plus 7,000 hours of VOD and
7,000
original
hours.
programming. And we have library with over 100,000 hours.
Yeah.
So it's pretty special, actually, and it's a huge opportunity that we're continuing to focus on and super serve our audience.
How old is that business now?
It is 3 years old.
And you're happy? Everything's moving the way you
Yes,
want
we
it
have
to?
nearly 2 million subscribers.
Wow.
So yeah, it's evolving. It's changing. We're listening constantly to our subscribers. We survey them all the time to make sure we're giving them what they want and more. And we're really looking at localized content now as a part of that strategy. And 205 Live, which is our cruiserweight show, the UK Championship, and now
Yeah.
the women's tournament that's going to be happening this summer.
My God.
Yeah, the Mae Young Classic.
I don't think you sleep.
We don't.
Yeah, I can
That's
tell.
the one thing we don't do is sleep. But we're very passionate. We love what we do. We're very
Of
blessed
course,
that way.
Of course. So what's next for WWE? You're thinking about all this. You got a million things happening right now. Like, what's next in store for the brand? Because you manage all of that, your talent, you do everything. Like, what
I don't
do
do
you think you have
everything.
next?
I don't do everything.
I think you do. I think you do. You're a busy person. But what would you think? What's next for the brand?
Well, what's next for the brand is really international. Right, and growing our business internationally. Currently, we're 30% of our revenue comes from international. We want to get that number to 50%. And of course, content proliferation, and whether that's on any platform, right? Because not one tier does not work without the other. It's synergistic. They all work together. So, of course, our content, that includes every aspect of our content, including WWE Network. Data and analytics is a huge focus for us, again, so we can super serve our audience, really giving them, what they want with various algorithms, as I know Facebook is very familiar with. And, of course, the brand. Getting our brand out there in as many ways possible, which is what we love so much about Cannes, because here we are being positioned among best-in-class brands, which is exactly where WWE should be.
Well, yeah, I mean, and the stuff that you do on Facebook with us, you've always been like right at the forefront of what we're doing. I remember when I watched you go live. That was at the very beginning of Facebook Live, and you did it like a pro. It was just very natural for you. But again, you're talent and you're a performer, but you did it, and I think the way that you shared was so authentic with the audience.
Thank you.
Like it comes across as real. It didn't feel like a staged moment, and I think because of that, I think that's one of the reasons that people are just so attracted to WWE over and over again. And
but I think that's what social's supposed to be, right?
Yes.
It's supposed to be real and authentic and genuine, and that's what gravitates, that's what people gravitate towards.
Yeah, and I remember when we talked to people about going live, you really need something to say, or you need to be really engaged with your audience, and you actually have the benefit of both. Right? There's always something to announce.
Let's hope I have something to say. Sometimes I don't really.
Oh, no. With that schedule, I'm sure there's always something to talk about. So right now, talent-wise, who is your favorite wrestler?
Of all time, my favorite wrestler?
Of all time.
Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
Yep.
You told me that last year, and
that doesn't change.
He is just amazing.
So it's really cool is we have a documentary coming out on HBO Sports about Andre, and I just did interviews for it the other day, and actually, I'm learning a lot from the producers. They went into the town where Andre grew up. They met with his brother. They found this treasure trove of old wrestling paraphernalia from when he was a young man in France.
Yeah.
Ironically, in France. And I can't wait to see how this documentary turns out.
When is it going to be on HBO?
I don't think we've announced the
Got it.
release date yet, but sometime soon.
Oh my God, that's going to be fantastic.
Yes.
Now that's worth going live about.
That alone is worth going live about.
Exactly right.
And maybe we should do it again.
I think we will.
Yes.
Let's do it. We can do that. It's a quick trip to Stanford, right? That's totally
right.
that
That's
works.
right,
So come
Bob.
down to New York and we'll have
You
some
heard it
fun.
here.
Exactly.
You're committed.
So what have you seen at Cannes that's got you a little bit excited?
Everything at Cannes has me excited because people are filled, well, first of all, with rosé,
Yes.
right? Secondly, with just this creativity and this passion, and everyone really wants to contribute and seems to have something to say, has an opinion. There's so many networking opportunities here to meet with incredible people.
Yeah.
And, and feed off of their energy and their brain power, right? Because you learn something new every day. And I love to have these conversations. I think Cannes is what you make it.
I think you're right. I think it's a 2-block stretch of the most expensive marketing in the entire world. Because we think about it, just think about who's here. It's leaders of agencies, it's leaders of brands, it's people in organizations trying to change the world.
Yep.
All through content.
Yep.
And, you sit here and you do absorb it and you hear something. I think you can take one thing out of every meeting. There's something that you're going to learn.
That's right.
We were with the folks from PwC today, and we were just listening to some of the global media consumption stats. It's astounding like, where mobile is and what's happening.
What's one of the things you learned?
That you are going to see a continued spike in mobile as a content mechanism as well as an advertising platform. Mm-hmm. And it's just going to continue to get bigger because we've got this new generation of kids who don't understand what some of the older things are that we're so used to, right? Like, I would love to watch a TV. My children watch their phone.
Right.
And so you start to see how that's happening, but it's actually it's globally growing really, really fast. Mm-hmm. And it's always been mobile's always been more advanced outside of the U.S. and now the U.S. is kind of catching up.
Any particular countries in general? Now I'm interviewing Bob.
Yeah, I know. We flipped. Typically Japan, China. I mean, look at what some of the messaging platforms are doing, and messaging is one of the fastest growing platforms now. And now we have to think about how that fits into everybody's life.
That's right.
Have you done anything with messaging?
We have. We experimented with messaging early on. And at our live events, we utilize SMS technology for our fans to post to the big screens so that they can be sharing throughout the arena and also throughout the world. So we have definitely experimented with that.
What's your take on it so far? Because it's an iterative process.
It is iterative. I think that I understand why it's one of the fastest growing. I think it's the simplest form of communication, which as long as you keep communication simple, you're pretty good. I think that's a standard rule, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it? You learn in grade school, KISS, keep it simple, stupid.
Always.
Right? Although they probably don't say that anymore. I don't know. It's been a while. But yeah, I certainly think it's a viable platform.
I hope you keep testing with it. I think we're going to get it right in a very big way, and I'd love to make sure that you're sitting there with this.
Let's talk about that.
All right, so we are going to go to rapid fire in overtime.
You know I don't like rapid fire.
I know.
I hate rapid fire.
But you're good at this.
I'm not, though.
You are. Okay. Last thing that made you laugh.
Oh, my husband's text this morning.
and you're not going to share that with us. 3 dinner guests, living or dead. Who would you invite?
3 dinner guests. Maya Angelou, Eleanor Roosevelt, and Andre.
That would be a kick-ass dinner. I would love to be a fly on the wall at that dinner. This is an easy one. Champagne or rosé?
Rosé, because we're here in Cannes.
Exactly. Dream vacation.
Dream vacation.
But I know you can't take any.
Being at home with my family. That's my dream vacation.
Yeah. And being on the road every week. That is a vacation, I'm sure. What's your guilty pleasure?
A staycation, I guess they call it.
Yeah, I like that.
Guilty pleasure? That I'm allowed to say?
Yeah.
Probably my, chocolate. I'll say chocolate.
All right, I'm in. Who's your inspiration?
I have so many inspirations. I'm inspired every day by so many different people. My children are my inspiration. I love my 3 little girls.
Yeah.
The things they say and their views of the world, they just amaze me. My mom inspires me. My dad inspires me. My husband inspires me.
You have a pretty inspirational family.
I do. I mean, and they're all around me all the time. But I go on social all the time to be inspired, you know? And I think there's a lot of positive messaging out there. And I think that that's so important to focus on the positive messaging and just ignore the negative messaging.
And I would think with such a rabid fan base, you have to draw inspiration from that all the time.
I do. Absolutely. I draw inspiration from our fans all the time.
I'm sure. Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Oh, wow. I'm an early bird. What's your, oh, and I know you have a soundtrack. What's your fight song?
My fight song right now is probably, I don't know. Can I just say a band?
Yeah,
Yeah. My fight band is Metallica.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah. Because I can't really pick one song.
Got it. All right. I'll ask you one.
Saint Anger's pretty good, though.
One last question. Facebook or Instagram?
Facebook.
How come?
I think I like all of the things that we're doing and experimenting with on Facebook, especially from a video perspective. Instagram still seems to be primarily photo based.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't like taking pictures of myself.
Okay.
So I don't like how they turn out, and I always look weird in selfies. So,
I'm not a selfie pro either.
I do
I can't
post
make it
all
work.
the time. I post my midnight workouts to Instagram because that's a great platform to do that
Absolutely.
on. And I then also bring them through to Facebook most of the time. But yeah, I'd say Facebook more for the video and engagement, and it's more conversational.
I'm with you.
And my lack of selfie ability.
So we're going to wish you luck today at the panel, and
Thank
I know
you.
you're going to kill it tomorrow.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us.
And you have all these emojis, Bob.
I know. Well, pick one. You can pick one right now to express.
Express?
Where are you right now from an emoji perspective?
Okay, this is so lame, but I have to do the Facebook.
I love
right?
it.
Don't you? Yeah.
I
but
love it.
I don't know. There's so many good ones. You pick an emoji.
Oh,
I think
I'm
that'd
here.
be
I'm
even
here.
more.
Here.
Your
I'm
love.
all
You're
about love. All about love.
I'm usually all about. Okay, I'll be happy.
I love it.
It's good.
Thank you. This was awesome. Really appreciate it. And their love just flew out the
See?
door. And now we're done. Thanks, everybody. It was fun. Thanks, Stephanie.
Thank you, Bob.
You're going to have an awesome time here. I know it. Take care.